how long is too long?
I personally like seeing the end of games if they have an end.
The games you end up playing really should respect your time.
It's a golden age for video games, but for many gamers, now it's just a matter of finding the time to beat them all. Some single-player titles can take 40 hours or more to complete, and the sequels to some of gaming's most popular franchises continue to get longer and longer. To beat every video game on the Washington Post's best of list for the last year, you would need to devote approximately 200 hours. That's 25 8-hour days of nonstop gaming. Here at the Washington Post, I tried to look into what's going on here and why these games are getting so large.
This world has its consolations.
There are a couple of larger factors in the industry. There are new games flooding the market each year. You have subscription services like Xbox Game Pass that give players access to digital libraries. You have these small team of developers releasing these titles that are beloved by fans. And then you don't even really have to spend money on video games anymore. Some of the most popular titles like Fortnite and Genshin Impact, they're free to play, and they offer a seemingly endless stream of content to explore. For this story, I focused mainly on open world single player adventures. Studios originally set out to make these immersive worlds that feel alive, but from my reporting, talking to developers and game critics and experts in the space, what we found is that studios realize the longer they make the game, the more they can monopolize your time. Let's take Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed series as an example. It takes the average player 135 hours to accomplish every task in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That makes the game 4 times longer than the original Assassin's Creed, which was released in 2007. Ubisoft declined to answer questions regarding the increasing scale of the virtual worlds in Assassin's Creed games for the story, but in a recent report to investors, the company boasted that players' overall engagement in Valhalla is up when compared to previous games in the series, and the company also noted that players are spending more money on the game's additional content when compared to past entries in the franchise. I talked to one researcher at Queensland University of Technology who told me that the more time people spend in these open world games, the more likely they'll be able to spend money. So the largest game publishers aren't just interested in selling copies of the games, though that helps. They're just also interested in holding players' attention. It's the same attention economy and the same commodity that every entertainment empire is interested in. Whether it's Disney or Netflix, it doesn't matter. The more time you spend in the game's world, the more money you're going to spend. Part of the reason that these games are getting bigger is because it is easier for studios to keep iterating on an existing virtual world rather than start all over from scratch. You can reuse animation or expand on characters. I talked to one expert who told me about how the costs in game development have just grown exponentially over the past decade. And so by making use of work that's already been done, whether it's a sequel for Horizon or a sequel to Batman's Arkham series, it allows studios to make the most of their labor without having to reinvent the wheel. I also talked to the lead quest designer at CD Projekt Red who said that there's been a bit of an arms race in creating open world games. Studios are trying to one-up each other. In many ways, studios are just trying to meet players' demands. Players for years have been asking for games that deliver the best bang for their buck. So out of the $60 they're going to spend, they want to have the most gameplay possible. The problem is, it seems like the reception there has changed. It's not really clear where the gaming industry goes from here. There are developers from big and small studios who want to see the structure of open world games change. As you start to see more subscription services like Xbox Game Pass, it's going to be easier for players to be able to play a game like Gears of War for 3 or 5 hours and then just walk away and go to something else. The developers I talk to think that that pressure is going to incentivize studios to make 10, 20, 30-hour experiences instead of 40, 50, 60, 80-hour experiences. You still are going to have battle royales and live service games. So it's not necessarily that this is an inflection point and now open world games are going to get smaller. It's just that developers recognize this is happening and they understand that fans at times feel overwhelmed. There's no clear solution to resolve any of this.